Banking in Moldova kind of sucks. But here's the thing. It's necessary if you're going to live here. So here's 5 things you can do to increase your ability to live and operate here in Moldova. Hello and welcome back to the Traveling Report. Today I wanted to go over why exactly the banking sector here in Moldova is so bad and how you can actually utilize this to then create a better situation for the near future. Now, I am presently here in Chisinau, Moldova, and I wanted to go over why exactly the banking industry is so bad and why, honestly, it comes down to the fact that banking in Moldova is something that's not a lot of people are really able to avoid. And so inherently it's mostly Moldovans using Moldovan banks. And this sounds like it's no big deal. However, when you have less competition, less customers, there's not much of an inherent motivation to create better banking. Now, there is ways around this, and I'll show you a clip of me going to OTP Bank. If I had an OTP Bank card from one of the many branches OTP Bank holds, or one of the partner banks that OTP Bank uses, I would not have paid any fees. And this is something that, of course, if you are looking for a multinational bank, OTP can actually help you quite substantially. Now, of course, as I said, that clip showed quite substantial fees, and that was something that was inherently very poorly maneuvered. And of course, I was taking out US dollars, which created a larger fee, but even in lei, they charge fairly high fees. And as I use ATMs more, I start to realize that these fees eat you alive if you're looking for cash. Now, of course, a lot of the places in Moldova, you don't need cash. But on the off chance that you do, it becomes much easier to have a bank that is useful and helpful to gain payments from those things. And additionally, in Moldova, a lot of the services are linked to banks, which inherently creates a near monopoly from the banks in terms of services. Now, I will say that OTP Bank, Banca Transylvania, which is the partner bank here, is Victoria Bank. They're not inherently bad. I wouldn't say they are low capitalized or risky. I would say that their service is poor and they are inherently creating a more difficult situation for their customers with the fees they charge. Now, of course, not all banks charge the same rate of fees, and whenever I am back in Moldova, as I am leaving tomorrow, I believe that I will create a better table for the best banks in Moldova. And hopefully by that time I will be looking for ways to open up a bank, and additionally I can show you the hiring process here in Moldova. But of course it is something that you should be looking out for. Now, of course, mixing together all of the banks is not inherently a good way of dealing with them, and so as you will follow along, you'll realize just how much I spend on looking at specific banks, especially when we go to Georgia. I will be spending a lot more time on specific banks and how they operate, as I am a solo member, and additionally I speak Georgian, so it's easier for me to go through all the processes And so if you're at all interested in joining me in that, feel free to subscribe. And furthermore, I am currently here still in Chisinau, Moldova. I will be moving to Romania very soon and be talking about Romanian banking, Romanian residency, how to really dive into Romania, which, of course, a lot of the banks that are owned here in Moldova are Romanian banks, or banks that are present in Romania. And so it'll create a sort of nice interlocking authority perspective. Now, if you're at all interested in that content, feel free to comment down below on banks you've been looking at or banks you are trying to get into. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it. If you really enjoyed this video, feel free to share. If you are looking for one-on-one consultations, absolutely free of charge, feel free to look down in the description and down below, and I will give you a 15-minute one-on-one conversation to qualify you for our consulting services, absolutely free. That said, if you want to join me on all of these journeys that I have planned, again, feel free to subscribe. This has been the Traveling Report, signing off.